mean by those people?
You know.
It's changed over
the
the
ones
years.
with the horns. I don't know. You know.
You mean band members? Who are you talking about here?
Stuff. Music industry.
Dude, yeah,
We're just talking about, so we should tell people what we're talking about. If you hum a song, just like fuck around and like, you know, like the cocaine song, you know what I mean? If you play Eric Clapton, if you do that, you'll get flagged on YouTube. They take
that line right there is the moment that made people stop scrolling. Theo Von was in the middle of an emotional rant about war, elites, and why ordinary people keep paying the price for decisions made by powerful men. Then Joe Rogan cut in with a joke about antidepressants. Some viewers heard it as classic Rogan humor. Others heard it as dismissive, especially because Theo was clearly speaking from a more serious place. And that is exactly why this moment exploded online. Not because two friends suddenly became enemies, but because the tone changed instantly in the middle of a live conversation. Even Theo later said people were taking the clip out of context, and that Joe had been supportive behind the scenes.
But still, but the fact that that's like a...
Crazy. Like that they're the least priority. Like, bro, flying is fucking super important, you dummies. You want to keep the economy going, you got to let people fly around. They got shit to do, man. You can't just fucking not pay the TSA people, you fucking idiots. How come you get paid? How come you get paid?
What Theo was really saying underneath all that raw language was pretty simple. If leaders and elites had real skin in the game, war would not be so easy to sell. That anger is what gave the clip its punch. But Joe did not really match that energy. Instead, he started steering the conversation toward military experience, service, and the mechanics of war. That is not the same conversation Theo was trying to have. Theo was talking emotionally. Joe was responding analytically. And when two people switch frequencies like that, the audience feels the friction immediately. That is why so many viewers describe the exchange as awkward, tense, or strangely cold.
Like, one of my goals is to get off of antidepressants completely, man. I want to feel how I'm supposed to feel so I can have thoughts and actions that like make me feel connected to the world. That shit makes you feel dead, man.
So why did you take them in the first place?
Because I was in a bad relationship 20 years ago and I was having a tough day at school and they gave them to me and then I never got off.
Now the medication context matters too. Earlier in the episode, Theo openly said one of his goals is to get off antidepressants because, in his words, they make him feel dead and less connected to the world. So Joe's comment did not come out of nowhere. But timing is everything. Using that very personal struggle as a joke while Theo was venting about war made the interruption land a lot harder. In the full conversation, there is more context. But in the viral version, it sounds like Joe is reducing Theo's entire argument to his mental state. And that is why people split so sharply on this moment. And this is what makes the clip even more interesting. Joe and Theo usually have easy chemistry. In older conversations, they joke naturally, bounce ideas back and forth, and even get into regret, depression, and personal growth without sounding stiff. That history matters. Fans are not reacting to two random podcasters disagreeing. They are reacting to two personalities whose rhythm normally feels relaxed and effortless. So when Joe suddenly cuts Theo off in this newer exchange, it stands out way more than it would with almost anybody else. The awkwardness is not just about the words. It is about how different this beat feels from their usual cadence.
In fact, they say that exercise is 1.5 times more effective than SSRIs for curing depression.
Oh, in a heartbeat, man. If I take because I take SSRIs and I do exercise. If I take my SSRI, I don't feel really anything. I just feel like, oh, I took my SSRI. But if I go for a run, like even today, I had to go run a couple miles. I was like, I know I'm going to be on here. I want to like just be in like I want to have my good energy going. I'm going to go for a run, and so.
There is also a bigger Joe Rogan pattern here. When conversations get heavy, he often shifts toward solutions. Work out, change your habits, get outside, fix the body, and the mind will follow. You can hear that same instinct in older clips where he talks with Theo about depression, anxiety, and exercise. Sometimes that approach sounds helpful. But in this moment, Theo was not asking for a self-improvement plan. He was venting moral disgust. So Joe's answer, even if he meant it lightly, felt like a dodge to viewers who wanted him to engage the actual point. That mismatch, Theo wanting confrontation, Joe wanting regulation, is really what powers the whole viral moment.
Hey, bro.
Well, I think there's also a problem. The people that I've talked to that have served overseas and have been involved and deployed in military operations and seen a lot of shit, a lot of them are of the opinion that you shouldn't be able to make those decisions if you've never been to war. If you don't know what it is, you don't know what you're sending people to do. It doesn't mean you're not still going to be a tyrant, because there are some people, like clearly Netanyahu's been to war. You know, he was in the military. He was involved in some shit.
Was he?
And he was like a special forces operator in Israel.
So, did Joe Rogan get defensive? The fairest answer is, to a lot of viewers, yes, he definitely sounded dismissive in the clipped version. But the bigger story is that Theo later pushed back on that interpretation and said Joe was supportive and that people were taking the moment out of context. So this clip matters not because it proves some secret feud, but because it exposed two very different instincts in real time. Theo wanted to say the ugly part out loud, emotionally and without cleanup. Joe wanted to pull the temperature back down, joke, redirect, and move the conversation somewhere safer. That is why the moment feels awkward. It is not a clean blow-up. It is a split-second collision between outrage and control. And on podcasts, those are the moments people replay the most. If you watched the whole exchange, let me know in the comments. Was Joe trying to help, or did Theo actually put him on the spot?